Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and we're off to. My name is Luigi, and this is Sunless Sea. We are off to explore more islands: Sovereign Island, Ash Isthmus, and a scouting trip. Let's go visit the haunted island, because why not? The trip offers little time to think on the Penties. Technically, they are monkeys rather than apes, but it is not tactful to remind them of this. Their high-souled faces, they accept the name is Pentecost apes. In private, though, the blank monkeys is about as common as one might say an ad hominid insult. That was an awful line. Enter the forest. Parasynthetic vegetation thrives in the Empire of Hands. Fertile soil and cool humidity. That's just given up too easily. Wide natural paths run between clumps of trees, softly lit by a dim green glow and the occasional glimmer of fall stars through the canopy. Only the cracking of leaves and the soothed sounds of water break the serenity of this volcano-forged paradise. Steam and a hint of sulfur rise gently from a secluded natural pool flanked by trees and mushrooms. Or hunt for supplies. Let's try relaxing. You slip out of your itchy clothes and into the welcoming caress of hot, deep water. The salt and sweats of saline life melt away as you simply float bare and free. Above, fall stars glimmer bright enough to be worth wishing on. All around, the glow of the trees casts ambient calm on the silent peace. How long has it been since you had a moment like this? Since London? Longer? Cool. Thought for the past, thought for the future, thought for the east. Do we want to think about the lover? Or do we want to think... I want to think about the east. What does this say? From here, the lights of home are just a memory. The sea is blacker, its tail's more guarded. It is not enough to simply keep sailing. None who try ever return home. Perhaps it is the price demanded by salt, as you've overheard the crew darkly murmur when they think no one hears. But that doesn't mean that... Wait, what was that? It sounded like... giggling? Caught. A tiny blonde girl perches waiting on a rock. Her innocent grin is spiced with a mischievous glee. She moves like a monkey, but she giggles like an imp. At the look on your face at being caught bathing in her offspring, and the one that floods onto it as she scoops up your clothes. Uh... Shipwrecked as a baby, raised by the Empire of Hand, she now plays between the worlds of apes and men, neither quite one nor entirely the other. The man that she puts those clothes down at once, or a desperate... So I have a funny feeling she's just not going to give them, so let's just start swimming. The Monkey Foundling makes things interesting. She waits grinning innocently until you emerge from the hot spring with nothing but your strategically placed hands for modesty. Before you can get close enough, though, she bolts from her crouched position and into the forest on all fours, a scampering run that turns every rock and fallen tree into a springboard. Let's go get the clothes. Damn it, you are not to return to the crew like this. The branches scrape across your skin. The damp mud squicks between your throats. There is no sign of the Monkey Foundling, but her tracks are easily followed. Okay, the forest is in here. She's not even attempting to hide them as if she wants to follow. Ouch. Your hand slaps to your stinging buttock. The little stone lands in the dirt as a familiar giggle comes from above. You look to see the Monkey Foundling dangling upside down from a branch by her legs, a blowpipe in her hand, and a bag just out of your reach, tantalizingly so. Taking a deep breath... Damn it, plane. Yeah, plane just flew overhead. Taking a deep breath, you very politely request that you return your damned clothes now. The Monkey Foundling listens and gives it some thought, tapping her blowpipe against lips as she decides, say please, she grins. Ah, please, there it is said. Pretty please? Pretty please with an imaginary cherry on top if she likes. Has never heard of cherries. Pretty please, she adds, stifling a giggle. Pretty please. Oh my, how long? Damn. Oh, not more of this. Uh. Oh, for frick's sakes, girl. You appear to have pretty pleased her, and she decides you deserve a reward. She fishes in her bag and generously throws you a sock. A single, solitary sock. She learns a few new swear words. She races off across the branches, near doubled up with laughter. Let's try to pursue her. You succeeded in the Veils challenge. You just spot the looped rope in time to jump over it, avoiding what would otherwise have been a nasty trip into the air. The monkey foundling looks disappointed. That is not one of your regrets. Chase continues. A marsh of terrible stench. It is a place that skunks would think twice of entering, if the Empire of Hands had such creatures. The monkey foundling is, of course, is unconcerned, as much at home here as high in the branches of, or running the forest path. She almost dances effortlessly across a thin fallen tree that crosses the mire, surrounded by the foulest, bubbling mud that has ever invaded your nostrils. She balances in the middle, daring you to try to follow. No, we don't have enough iron for that. Let's go. Oh, we succeeded. Awesome. We gained 25. It is a slow, slow going. Your muddy fleet side against it and the thin trunk barely carrying your weight. Inch by inch, step by step, you slowly make your way out without slipping. The monkey foundling is visibly disappointed, even trying jumping up and down to shake the tree and make it messy tumble. But no, not today. You cross triumphantly to her grudging admiration. She pirouettes in a tree stump, saluting you as you approach. Ambush. A screeching Pentecost ape drops from the branches. The shock on the monkey foundling's face makes it clear this is not part of her little game. Its rage is focused entirely on her, the ghost of the ash isthmus, and the bright soul with which it can uplift itself to glory. It limps from some trap earlier, its fur blood-soaked and glistening. It lunges at the monkey foundling, who half rolls, half falls off the stump, and yelps as it catches her by the leg. She rolls, shrieks her own howl as she lashes back with a kick that shatters fang and splits its lip. This only further enrages the frothing ape. It strikes. Now let's help her. We've gone this far. Rock beats ape. You reach for a stone and bring it crashing down on the distracted ape's head. Its skull cracks, dampness spreading. It collapses onto the ground hard. It's not a child's face that looks up at you. Still, you reach a hand down. The monkey foundling just stares at it for a moment, something human returning as the adrenaline fades. For a moment it looks as though she will take it, but no, she leaps up on her own, bounding away towards this dark safety of her jungle. But then stops, hesitates. She looks back and tilts her head, beckoning you to follow. It is a look that suggests the game is over, but perhaps not quite yet finished. A small hut in the middle of the forest. Is this where the monkey foundling lives? Why would she lead you here of all places? Playmate of the monkey foundling. The monkey foundling herself is nowhere to be seen, but she has left you something. It sits outside the hut, carefully placed by a large, happy face drawn in the black sand. A little prize for being such a good sport. Your clothes, however, are nowhere to be seen, of course, as the monkey part of her would no doubt demand. Where would the fun in that? Well, there's no avoiding this any longer. Back to the ship, naked we go. Your crew reacts with the expected amount of sympathy to your naked return, which is to say exactly none. By the time you board the ship, every last crew member is on hand to see and cheer, with more than a couple letting off flares as impromptu fireworks. It is many, many days before the needling ceases and you are able to give an order without first scouring it for innuendo. On the plus side, it does boast at least the rest of the ship's mood while it lasts, and you have a new treasure for your collection if you have had worse days. Okay, that was hilarious. I like that quest. I kind of want to go back, but they're not going to let us. Let's go to Fountainhead Island now. The Empire of Hands is hardly as old as they pretend, but mimicry and theft infuse their whole culture. If the Penties have come to think that rulers should be buried in ancient temples, then it is ancient temples they will be buried. It would hardly be the first time their attempts to mirror humanity have entirely missed the point. We don't have an ancient-ish treasure map. An ancient-ish treasure map, really. Let's go to the temple in the forest. It stretches through the forest in a mix of stone and wood. It's styled at the mercy of the Pentecost apes, currently whimsies and inspirations. It would take a dedicated team to break in and uncover its secrets. Perhaps we'll bring one here later. Nothing we can do there. Okay. It'll take a better equipped expedition to uncover the silent secrets and treasures. Can we go back there? No. A scouting trip to Sovereign Island. A wooden palace stretches across the whole island. Passage to it lit by a field of tiny glim buoys. Heart of the Empire. Many boats circle the island, all keeping their distance. The one that gets closest is an extended rowboat painted in yellows, whites, and reds. 4 servant monkeys strain at the oars, while its true passenger sits in comfort. Behind a gauze curtain, just for a moment, an eye catches yours, but only for a moment. It would not do for a high-souled ape to see something so beneath its notice. Your current round, we've explored. Gain access to the court. We don't have a gift for the Monkey Emperor, so we have to return. It'll take some effort to ingratiate yourself here. Perhaps if you could find something on one of the other islands. They all appear to be in use at the moment. Okay. You will need the help of someone in Fallen London to continue exploring the Empire of Hands. Check your lodgings after submitting your port report. Interesting. Prepare a comprehensive port report. Few have reason to brave the waters this far east, especially with the trade embargo. The Admiralty will pay especially well for up-to-date intelligence. The islands of the Empire. All of them warrant further attention. For now, though, it would be best to see if our initial discoveries can whet the interest of anyone back home. We've gained 100 fragments, a new total of 236. We now have a comprehensive port report of the Empire of Hands. And can we do anything else on this island? Shore leave and an audience. This Zeppelin. Let's go. We still have this. Let's do it. Oh, okay. A chance to gather supplies. With the help of a few of your crew members, you gather several crates of fruit and berries from the thick jungle. In exchange for a share, the monkeys of Port Staden are oddly happy to help you shift through and find the best. Much of the crew subsequently suffers from terrible diarrhea. The two things are perhaps unrelated. No, it's totally unrelated. Those monkeys totally lied to us. What's the an aborted journey? The path through the jungle soon becomes dark and treacherous. The predatory eyes of desperate monkeys staring from behind every bush and tree. Exploring this island will have to wait for another more auspicious day. Well, that's all we can do here. We now have a comprehensive port report. So I'm going to go down to, we're going to make our way south to Nativity, Ostaval, Scalport, and then we're going to rip this chunk off and head up to Ken Shadow with our mushroom wine, just so we can sell it. But I'm gonna do a bunch of that off camera. Actually, how far away is the Nativity? Isn't far, so we'll do that on camera. And I have a funny, and we'll have to wait for the exploration. If I find an island, I'll come back in for the next episode. If not, I'll just do another run. Probably go to do some stuff in London, and then do some more exploring down here. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll see what happens back in Fallen London. We may actually be coming back to the. I have a funny feeling we'll be coming back to the Empire of Hands, because this is the next big plot line I've found. I think. Mind you, there's the crew member side quests, which are all really in depth. Actually, they're not in depth. They're just complicated, because I need a whole bunch of stuff for them. I still haven't got the stuff for the thing from Irem to colonize Ostaval. I wonder if we colonize Ostaval, if it will stay for the next captain. That is something I'm curious about. So, but other than that, I think we're good. A tiny breeze stirs your hair and dies. Okay, we have something waits some port. And here we go, the Isles of Spiders. The thing I'm concerned about looking at them is they might, as judging by how far apart some of these islands are, they might be able to extend their webbings at least out to Nuncio. I don't think they can extend them all the way back to London without assistance. I might help them if they ask for that. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I do like spiders, but not that much. I'll have to think on it. Anyways, there's the port. The Nativity. And we've come into dock. There we go. Let's see. Gutter reaches. Risk exploring without a candle? No. Prepare for the festival of silk. Compile a port report. That's why I couldn't do the report. I didn't have any mushroom wine last time. Delivery of trinkets. It's almost entirely legitimate silk trade. Urgency requests your help with the delivery to Fallen London. Sure, why not? You know, if one saviors rocks trinkets, just trinkets. Okay, and we have 2 supplies, so we can trade for silk. Sure, why not? 1 bolt of spider silk. Awesome. Meet with an emissary. Spiders, is there a shop here? Yes, there is. Stories await you for the next part. Meet with an emissary of spiders. He has witnessed much, yet has seen nothing, since the sorrow spiders he serves harvested his eyes. Oh, my good sir, or is it madam? Another salutation, perhaps. Pardon my ignorance. He taps his blindfold. The honor of serving the acrimonious bastards does somewhat leave one at a disadvantage in matters of detail, he smiles. Blind to the light is not, however, deaf to rumors. I wonder, might it prevail upon the good-natured individual? I ever contributed so much to our little festival. Splendid, splendid. He leans in close. My benefactors have charged me with seeking a special sustenance for a special occasion. I am sure an experienced sailor such as yourself sees through the unnecessary euphemism, shall we say, unfortunates of little future such as your tomb colonists. Were perhaps a select few to find a different destination for the greater good, I can promise more than fair compensation for any subsequent regrets. You may be able to attain trusting tomb colonist tourist St. Venderblight if you have assisted them in the past. Caught on the web. Supplier of tomb colonists to spiders. That's all for now. So, I might want to do that. Let's see. In the meantime, we are going to continue to sail south for Osaval, the Scanalport, and I'm going to explore this protrusion here. And I will be back since we still have some time left. I'll be back in London, or if there's a port up ahead, I'll be back then. So, see you in a bit. I'll talk to you in a bit. I need to get that. Hello, we're back, and as you can see, we are in a purple region. And we have discovered the Utter Shroom to the northwest, which is that thing up there, I think. Yeah, the Utter Shroom. And we're just going to cut the bottom of this place off. And yeah, the reason I'm showing this is because it isn't in the area I was going to explore. So it looks like there's definitely this giant mushroom thing. It's definitely this giant purple thing up here we're going underneath. Well, to the south of is definitely the port we're looking for. Well, I assume it's a port. I hope it's a port because we're running out of supplies. And as you can see here, I did explore all this. Oh, and we found Maybe's mother in the selenite. I haven't been showing those because they're little side quests. I haven't gotten much out of any of them yet. And Maybe's daughter wants us to go to London next. Okay, there. Now let's head up. Now it looks like we can just travel right underneath this. Is this correct? Looks like we can. Discovered the Utter Shroom. I just sent the Z-Bat out and nothing else in range. The Utter Shroom climbed the fungal fiber ladders to its summit. Shaggy, suspicious villagers scratch a living here amidst endless clouds of spore and scurving mobs of plant-animal hybrids. None of them ever leave. Monsters, one explains darkly. Z full of monsters. Trade honey. Honey, a Shroomer explains. Everyone wants honey. Life on the Utter Shroom is unvarying and occasionally deadly poisonous. The Shroomers are desperate for the diversion that prisoners' honey can bring, but vague about what they can pay in return. Supplies, though, at least? Oh, this is where we get the thing for that. Port report, what happens here on top of a mushroom the size of a Haliboro. The villagers live a shabby but sufficient life. The Utter Shroom provides their secretive, taciturn, incurious ships rarely visit. You now have a port report the Utter Shroom. There's no shops here. Great. Visit the village. Day of Spores. The Utter Shroom releases spores according to its own inscrutable schedule. Today the air is soupy thick. They coat your hair, they clog your throat, they gather like sleep in the corners of your eyes. Conversation with the Shroomers is impossibly hard. You return to the ship where you find a tiny purple mushroom growing already in your ear. Okay, well that was useless. Now let's hope we can make it to London, not London, but Conchata with the... Actually, let's take the long way just because I feel like pushing it. And the reason I'm going to show us our trip to Conchata is just because we might run out of food. Especially since we're taking the long way. But I'm only taking the long way so we can get rid of this chunk here because I don't like that. Yeah, we're actually running out of things to explore fairly quickly now. For a second there, I thought that purple plant at the very top was a monster. I've seen some weird looking monsters like that. What do they call it? The spiky animals. I've seen a few of those flying around, and I've seen giant crabs with with little glowing things, like an angler crab has, except two of them. Mouse to feed. We need provisions. Drinks Zoop, consume a strange catch. Well, let's do this, because... Shh. We've gained 8 terror, managed to cancel effect doesn't change because it's higher foreign, and we've lost a crew member. Beautiful. That will hold us over till we get to the, Con Shadow. Go on, go away. And... there we go. Let's head north, sell this mushroom, and get rid of this mushroom wine. So, exploring with this ship is quite expensive, actually. So, on future captains, I might stick with the smaller ship for exploration purposes. Just because it doesn't use quite as much fuel and the crew has far less crew, so our supplies last longer. That's what's killing my survivor ability to explore. Don't worry, guys. We've almost arrived at the Con Shadow. But we have combat. Oh, too bad. We've docked. Shops. Let us buy a bunch of supplies, despite the fact they're a bit more expensive. Let's do it like that, and like that. We're not going to sell. I'm not going to sell the outlandish artifacts because I want to turn them into heirlooms. We'll sell a bunch of this instead. And then we'll stock up on human souls before returning to London. And we'll keep some gold in reserve. 30 human souls should do it. We won't stop by the Copper Porter to get a port report, but we will stop by Gator's Morn. Yeah, we'll stop by Gator's Morn to get a port report, then Mudden Island, I think, because we already got a... Ask to render strange scratch edible? No thanks, we don't need that. We just need to wait for this to update. There we go. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next episode where we will be in Fallen... Uh-oh. Laconite Ward Tremarian wants to, Nope, he's going the wrong way. We're fine. So, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode, which will probably be in Fallen London, because I want to see where this plot with the sea is bright as milk, false stars above her black on all pitchy bed. Something is watching its gaze enfolds your boat. You are transparent as glass. This will create every survive. You'll confront the nightmare. This is dangerous, but may never in your secret. Let's go deeper. We've lost restful sleep. We've gained 2 wounds. We have 2 wounds. Crap. We might want to keep an eye on that. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.